you got this wonderful book, The Ultimate Sales Machine. I met the original author, Chet Holmes, 25 years ago. It's hard to believe. And he was so cool, an awesome man. And he had great philosophies, right? I'm not afraid of the guy who can kick my ass 10 ways or something. I'm afraid of the guy who's practiced one way 12,000 times. Right? Yeah, he was so great. And there are so many lessons in this book. Unbelievable. Now, sadly, he passed. And his daughter, Amanda, is here today. And she has expanded the company, expanded the roles and dimensions of the company, has very big goals. And she has the most positive energy source I've ever met. And she's great. And this book has been expanded to reflect some of the new dynamics of the digital world we live in. And so we are lucky to have her today. Welcome, Amanda, home.
Here is your dose of the Ultimate Sales Machine coming to you from the new edition. Visit ultimatesalesmachine.com to get your copy or multiple copies. I am your host, Amanda Holmes, CEO of Chet Holmes International. What you're about to learn has assisted 250,000 businesses to generate billions of dollars, working faster, better, smarter.
It's a pretty wild thing. It took me 4 years to write the new edition of my father's book. And when I asked everybody what they wanted to see from the new edition, they said, nothing. It's perfect. Don't touch it. So you can imagine the freak out that I had to try and touch and upgrade a masterpiece. But it means a lot to me to be able to share that story, because a part that really fuels me is the concept of, I'd love you to double your sales. And I'm going to give you 4 strategies today on how to double sales, but not at the expense of your health or at the time you have with your family. So I'm going to give you those strategies that take horsepower over wallet power and can make quantum leaps instead of having to do double the amount of work and just get stressed out and burned out. So my philosophy is, let's double our sales while cutting our stress in half. And I experienced it myself from watching my father pass at 55. So we're going to cover the 5 things holding you back from doubling your company in the next 12 months. I'm just curious, a show of hands, how many of you would actually like to double sales? Okay. That's a good amount. That's a good amount. I was keynoting last week, and not a lot did. It was very odd. It was a very strange group. I'm like, we're not going to get along very well, because that's what I'm great at. So everything you're about to learn today has been proven. We have 70 different training products that have sold in over 100 countries. The book, I was just in Switzerland a month ago celebrating the book being translated into its 16th language, which was Italian. We have also assisted 85 of the Fortune 500 and assisted 250,000 businesses worldwide. So my father cold called his way into 60 of the Fortune 500 and realized, okay, to really make a difference in our economy, it's really going to be with the small to medium-sized businesses. So we took what was working for the biggest and the best and gave it to those that can really move the needle with all of the staff that we have that hire 90% of our marketplace. Majority of CEOs are worried about a recession. Just a show of hands again, how many of you are worried that we're either in a recession or coming up to a recession? Not a lot. How fascinating. Okay, according to Bank of America's Small Business Report in 2023, 72% of small business owners are worried about the impact of a recession. However, 76%, on the back end of that, feel that it's not going to do anything that will put them out of business. They'll be able to survive and make it through. Just to put this into perspective, 50% of businesses have delayed their plans for growth because of interest rates, and 49% of them have taken out a loan to be able to cover the higher cost because of inflation. Does that feel like that's more realistic? Yes, we're seeing that people are taking out more money. Yeah. Okay. Regardless of if you believe that a recession is coming or not, let's just plan for the worst so that we can make the best of it, okay? So we did a study to analyze 4,700 companies over 3 recessions to realize what was the difference between those that succeeded when it was a no-spend economy versus those that didn't. And what we found was that 91% of businesses either were flatlined, losing revenue, or going bankrupt. Bankrupt is only 9%, so just because I said it first doesn't mean majority went bankrupt. And then only 9% of those actually grew their revenue during a time when nobody wants to spend. So what was the difference between the 9 to 91? Would you guys actually like to know? Okay. So according to the data, this is what was shown. Number one, CEOs swooping in to solve the problems. And I know we have a combo here of some of you are one-man armies, some of you have more staff. For those of you that are one-man armies, if you're selling to a C-suite, they better pay attention because this is what they're up against, okay? Have this in your back pocket to know what to talk to them about. So CEOs are swooping in to solve the problems rather than delegating it to their teams. So you have to be agile when people aren't spending money in the economy. And if you have your team that's on the front lines being able to make decisions quickly, you will be able to pivot quickly. So this is critical. Must delegate the authority. Number two, too much debt to survive. So this was Mueller's study where he, and I would recommend everybody do this, what is your total debts over total assets? And it could even be a practice that you tell CFOs to go through to see, okay, what is your percentage of debt to asset ratio? So Mueller found that it's not that we have to have no debt, we just have to have a smaller amount of it. So on average, they found that 19.5% on the debt to asset ratio was okay, they could still sustain, but if you got up to the 38% or higher, so about double that, you were in for trouble. So you should really be looking at, okay, what can I sell? What can I cut as far as operations? And you know why? If you're teaching this to a CFO, that's important because you're educating them so that you are not the thing that they're cutting something else, right? So we're educating them on that. Obviously, there's no magic numbers. This is across many different industries, but just to give you a bit of a guideline here. Then number three is laying off staff may make it difficult to survive. Now, we just experienced, right, it was, oh man, I'm trying to remember if it was 21 million or 47 million staff that left their jobs during COVID. Does anybody know off the top of their head? I'll go and look and bring it back to you guys. We had more people leaving the workplace during COVID than at any time in history. So knowing that, staffing is not as much of an issue, but if revenues start to go down and we start laying off, we're gonna have real big problems to be able to survive past a recession. Yeah, during 2009, 2.1 million Americans were laid off. That's nothing in comparison to what we saw during COVID of people voluntarily leaving their jobs. Now, Honeywell, for example, they saved 20,000 jobs because during the 2000 recession, they ended up firing them and they had the hardest time being able to ramp back up after the recession. So in 2008, they learned their lesson. So instead of firing them, they just held their pay for, let's say, a week or 5 weeks, depending on what the regulations were, and they saved 20,000 jobs. Hello, Mr. CFO, would this be interesting of you? Hello, Mr. HR, would this be interesting to you? So I'm just educating you about this is the pain points that companies that you market to will be experiencing. Performance pay. If any of you are interested in hiring more sales reps, I would highly recommend looking at a performance pay type model. That's in chapter 5 of the book that you got. How can we make sure that their incentives are in alignment with what the company is trying to achieve? And then digital transformation. So many of us went online after COVID, right? It was unbelievable. For those that haven't gone online yet, this next recession is really, you just won't survive. So if you're talking to any companies that are having that problem, they should really get ahead of it. And according to Katie George, a senior partner at McKinsey, they're saying digital technology can help cut those costs. So we should really be automating as many tasks as possible and adopting data-driven decision-making. How many of us make decisions in business just based on hearsay or what we think or what we feel? This is really coming down to the brass and tacks where we need to know, how many leads are you generating a month? How many of you know how many leads you generated in the last 30 days? Okay. All right, but everyone should know that number, right? How many leads did I generate? How many have I booked the first appointment with? How many am I closing? We need to know these numbers so that we can make sure that we improve them step by step. I love this quote by Henry Ford. Stopping advertising to saving money is like stopping your watch to save time. Yes, thank you for the laugh. So as competitors are cutting back, you should really be doubling down on what you're doing with marketing. So at the height of the pandemic, the cost for marketing lowered by 47%. However, case after case shows that those that spend money on marketing during recessions will grow by 20% in revenue compared to pre-recession. So I highly recommend, but what do we have to do when we're thinking about acquiring new clients? We have to, instead of slashing marketing budgets, we really have to focus on optimizing for low cost, high ROI, optimizing their spend by shifting dollars into high ROI tactics. How many of you like high ROI tactics? Okay, great. That's what I'm going to show you today. So I love this quote by the CEO of Walmart when he was asked what he was going to do with the current recession coming up. He said, I thought about it. I'm sorry, my clicker will only allow me to be so far away from it. He answered, I thought about it and decided not to participate. So I am another one that is opting out of the next coming recession, and I'm bringing you all with me. The 5 things holding you back from doubling your company based on knowing what's going on with our current economy. You need to avoid swooping in to solve the problem if you're the CEO, and you need to delegate your authority. You need to look at your debt, try and pay it off, sell it, cut it. Too many layoffs make long-term survival difficult, so make sure that you get creative, performance pay, paid time off, partial part-time off, digital transformation. How can we move towards data-driven decision-making and automating tasks? And then investing in low-cost, high ROI tactics, and you'll be up 27% over the market. Okay? So, never let a good crisis go to waste. I love that, Winston Churchill. So you just heard a little clip from me speaking at a keynote last week from the 5 things holding you back from doubling your company in the next 12 months. Now, speaking of low-cost, high ROI tactics that work, the best thing you can do is get to the basics of strategy. Let's get to the foundational principles of what has worked for decades, really, but for us, it's worked for the last 50 years, a half century, and even after my father passing, the last 10 years has also still worked. What are concepts where you can learn it and you can practice it for the next 10 years and beyond, and it will still be relevant, and it will still generate you an ROI, and it can even double your sales year after year if you just hyper-focused and streamlined you and your team to get the results you're looking for. If you would like to have that kind of pig-headed discipline and determination to focus on the goal that you want to accomplish, there is nothing better than the Ultimate Sales Machine Bootcamp. I may be a little biased, but I have watched it time after time work for so many businesses. I don't know, but courses, there's only a 4% finish rate. Of all the people that buy courses, only 4% of them actually finish. That's not even counting if you're getting results. In my boot camps, 44% of the participants that go through the boot camp generate leads within the first 30 days using what they've learned. Another 30% are generating sales within the first 30 days using what they learned. Why is that? I will tell you. It's because we've crafted it so that every week we're teaching you a concept, we're giving you the opportunity to build that collateral, and then we're deploying you out. Okay, go use it. And then we do a gamification where everybody is working to try and generate leads, generate appointments, generate sales between the first week to the next week. So it's just that 1 hour a week where you learn. We keep it open for another half an hour after that. So in total, it's 90 minutes, but you can get the full training in the hour. The second half of it, that 30 minutes, is open for Q&A. If you want to test a pitch, if you want to get some feedback from the group, that time is open for you to be able to do that, because practice is what will create mastery. And that's what we're giving you, is a platform to be able to practice, to learn, and master. The first week, I'm giving you a tool that I assist you to build that can help you triple your sales conversions, because majority of companies, when you learn something like a stadium pitch concept, people love the concept and they get how brilliant it would be to get 9 times more clients from the same moves you're already making if you just stopped talking in the me-we. It's all about me. Let me tell you how great I am. Let me tell you about how great I am. Versus talking about what your prospect wants to hear. Then you can get to the people that aren't thinking about you or think that they're not interested. And then it expands your ability to speak to more clients, to get more leads, up to 9 times more leads. So in that first session, I'm not going to teach you the stadium pitch, because very often it's hard for people to make a leap from being a pure tactician into that strategist with the first step. So the first session, we actually dive deeper into how do we set you apart from your competition? How can we reset the buying criteria so that you are the only logical conclusion? So we build a tool for that. And one of our clients ended up making back the whole price of the boot camp within the first week, because he used this and posted it on LinkedIn. By the way, if you're saying, Amanda, you already sold me as soon as you said Ultimate Sales Machine Boot Camp, all you have to do is go to USM, like Ultimate Sales Machine, USM.ChetHolmes, CHET, Holmes spelt like Sherlock, HOLMES.com/bootcamp. USM.ChetHolmes.com/bootcamp. First week, we dive into that tool that can help you close more deals and preempt your competition. The next week, then we go into market data, because market data is way more motivational than product data. How do you truly understand what's keeping your prospect up at night? Because people take action much faster moving away from pain than they do pleasure. So I'm going to show you how to find that market data, where to look for it, and how to distinguish it so that you can speak to your prospect in a way that nobody else speaks to them. Then the week after that, I go into the full core story, into the framework. I actually build out a mind map for those of you that are visual. I'm a visual learner. I show you the mind map, a one sheet that you can use for the next decade and beyond. Every time you launch to a new market, to a new niche, if you launch a new product, you follow this blueprint and it will help you set yourself as an expert above all else. Then the week after that, so you're seeing every single week has a valuable skill set that we're training and teaching you and giving you actionable tools that you can take and use immediately in your leads, with your cold outreach, with your email, with your website, with social media. Then, so the first half is more on the core story messaging. Then we dive into the Dream 100. So how do we deploy your core story into your better buyers that buy more from you more often? That is 8 weeks of power-packed. Sometimes people call me a Red Bull, a energetic Red Bull. This is an espresso of sales momentum for your business. All you have to do is go to usm.chetholmes.com/bootcamp. And there's plenty of great bonuses there that you'll see. But really, the true value is getting on with like-minded individuals that are all looking to be number one in their marketplace, to truly set themselves apart, to opt out of the recession coming up, and to opt into dominating and taking market share when everyone else is retreating. That is the group that I am congregating, and that is the group that very often you'll sell your product or service amidst the group. Everyone ends up working together. It's a really loving environment, and I make sure that it's that way because that's the way that I live my life. And I want you to be a part of my love bubble and generate sales at the same time. Isn't that magnificent? usm.chetholmes.com/bootcamp. Can't wait to see you there.